You just knocked over 2 whole glasses of apple cider.
Maybe it won't stain the couch.
You made cookies.
I have this bad tendency of staying up until 2 a.m.
When you're first starting, it might not be glamorous. It might be things that you honestly hate.
You are working a 9-to-5 job and you eventually want to get out of your 9-to-5 job so that you can, pursue more of your creative pursuits.
Been on some commercials and some of the productions in Nashville.
He's acting right now.
It's built our faith.
Yeah.
And it's
So,
made
yeah,
us
hopefully.
stronger. It's drawn our hearts to God. Welcome to the Brood for More podcast.
We are your hosts,
I'm Daniel Cook.
and I'm Jennifer Cook, so let's jump right on in.
So, tell me, you just knocked over 2 whole glasses of apple cider. What was the first thought that came to your mind?
Oops. Except it was actually only 1 glass of apple cider.
It was only 1.
It wasn't 2. That would be horrible.
I was in the corner doing my own thing, and I probably should have been helping you because that mistake might not have happened, but...
Yes, I spilled apple cider all over. Oh yeah, mine. I spilled apple cider, his whole thing of apple cider. I spilled it all over the couch and the table. So while I had just gotten Tyler down for a nap, we were trying to film quick because we only have a little bit of time to film because now Tyler's sleeping.
Tyler's taking a nap.
And so we were like, and then I spilled apple cider. It was funny. As Daniel was applying for an acting gig that I told him not to do because I was like, we need to film, and then he did it anyways, and then I spilled apple cider.
It looked like a cool
Now we're
opportunity.
filming, so.
But thankfully, we have more apple cider. There's plenty in the fridge, so I
Yep.
think we're okay.
It's our special fun
and maybe
fall
it
drink.
won't stain the couch.
Maybe it won't stain the couch.
Anyway,
Don't
so
spill it.
the actual question I was going to ask you is, when do you sleep?
When do I sleep? That is a fun question for sure. Oh my goodness. Okay, well currently I have this bad tendency of staying up until 2 a.m.
Oh man.
It's kind of bad. But that's because I have Tyler and I watch him like all day long. And it's just been like really rough because I watch him and yeah, I'm honestly just like working on my business up until like 1 or 2 a.m. Honestly, I feel like I try to start wrapping up around 1 and then somehow it always ends up being 1:30 to 2 a.m. is when I actually go to bed. So then when I actually sleep then I go to sleep at 2 and then Tyler wakes me up and wants to eat milk, so I feed him. And then finally I try to go to sleep and then I feel like he wakes me up once in between 2 to 7 a.m. now, I think.
Okay.
And then maybe around and then normally we tend to wake up more together around 9 maybe a.m. And then I'm still weirdly dead at this time just because I used to sleep 9-10 hours constantly before we had Tyler. And so now it's just really I don't know, it's been hard because it's been hard to get enough sleep because I'm always having to work to keep up with all of my crazy business ideas, including this new Brood for More podcast, which we decided to start. So we're crazy.
Well, it kind of makes sense because I feel like if you're going to have a kid and you're going to try to run a business, you either have to sleep at night or you have to sleep in the morning. You have to Actually, yeah.
Yes.
Sleep in the night or sleep in the morning. Because what you do is you stay up late at night and you work after he goes to bed, 8 or 9
p.m. to
2 a.m.
I say the goal is 9 p.m. to 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. So that's almost half my workday, just
That's
at night when it's that's my focus. That's my plan out YouTube. That's plan out business strategy. I try not to do too much wedding photography editing during that time, although I do some, but I feel like it's more I try to do all the thinking, the focus work, because when he's running around all day, I can't think and I can't figure out my business vision, my business strategy if he's running around making noise. So I do that at night, and that's where I get into my zone. So it's midnight, and Daniel's you want to go to bed? And I'm just I'm in my zone. It's hilarious.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like you have to have a zone because that's a 4 or 5 hour chunk, and you're either going to get that at night from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., 2 a.m., or you're going to get up at 4 a.m. and do your work until he wakes up at, 9 a.m. So you got to kind of pick which one, right?
Pretty much. And when do you sleep?
When do I sleep? So that's a good question. I feel like my schedule's pretty sporadic. I usually go to bed around 11 or 12 a.m. Okay, sorry, 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. And I wake up, I guess it ranges usually from anywhere from 4:45 a.m. to, at the latest, it's usually 7:30 or 8 a.m. So I also do gigs in Nashville, so I kind of have to get up early to beat the rush hour because if I get up at 6 and leave at 6:30, I'm probably gonna get to Nashville at 8:30 a.m. or something, like 30 minutes after I'm supposed to be there.
And that's bad, very bad.
Yeah, you don't want to be late. If you leave at 4:45, you get there at 6:30, and then you can just, instead of waiting in traffic, just inching along, you can take a nap, an hour-long power nap.
So you just sleep a little bit at night, and then later in the car before you start your gig.
Yeah,
Instead of being in traffic for like an hour and a half.
It works pretty. Yeah, it works pretty well. I think it's kind of
Yep.
cool.
Yep, and I get that because I met someone up in Nashville today, and for like a little coffee meetup, another wedding, actually a wedding film editor technically, and I spent an hour and a half driving there to meet her to a place that normally takes 32 minutes to get to.
So I mean, we're in Murfreesboro.
So I was like, oh my gosh.
We live in Murfreesboro, right? So like, it's, I don't know, 20 something miles, 27, 28 miles, and so that should take you like 30 minutes. 34 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what my GPS usually says when there's not traffic. But as soon as you factor in traffic, it's like an hour and 30 minutes sometimes.
Yep.
I guess on a good day it's 50 minutes. But that's still almost double the time.
So much time in traffic just going to Nashville for gigs. It's crazy.
Cool. So while we're on this topic, like, we should probably talk about what we do for a living.
Yeah, you're probably like, what do these two crazy people do? Like, this podcast, what is this all about?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. So why don't you jump in?
Okay, what do I do? Well, first of all, I am a national wedding photographer, and Daniel's actually my second shooter for weddings. I also do family sessions in the area, so we are Nashville family photographers, and we love doing that. And then I also do photography education through my Jennifer Cook Photography YouTube channel, which we'll probably have that like link below. I think actually you can have like collaborator channels, like linked to other channels type of thing on
cool.
YouTube. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna link all our different YouTube channels down below because I'm pretty sure we have 1, 2, 3. I think we have at least 5. We have like 5 active YouTube channels.
Sounds
so
right.
we have so Jennifer Cook Photography, which is all geared around photography education and camera education. And then we also I have my Biz with Jen YouTube channel, which is brand new, just like this one. And that one is business mindset, business growth, business strategies for entrepreneurs looking to build confidence and clarity within their business. And so that's what Biz with Jen is centered around. It's like all about like entrepreneurship. So definitely, just focus on all that. And there'll be like interviews with other business owners on there. So that's like one of my like special business ventures I'm working on. And then I also, and like within that I do business mindset coaching as well. And then what else do I do? Okay, let's see. So photography. I'm like, I have to think about this. What do I do?
You have a course that you're designing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're filming videos for that.
Yes, I have the Confident Entrepreneur, which it's actually kind of like a guide, which then is kind of like a mini video course. And it's like a 10-step action, like an action plan to ultimately build confidence within your business as a starting out entrepreneur, or if you're already like growing your business, working on it. It's kind of to help you overcome some mindset blocks and to just kind of help you keep growing your business, kind of using like a step-by-step way that I've created. And so that we'll link that Confident Mind down below. So if you're interested in that, you can go check that out. And then the course that's actually following that guide is called the Confident Mind. And that's going to be a full-on video course. And in that video course, it is going to be talking about really just, again, like how to flip your mindset so that things that you did once see as negative, you can now see as positive, and it can really do wonders to your business growth. So there'll be a lot more information about that coming out about the Confident Mind. Again, that's mostly going to be featured on the Biz with Jen podcast / YouTube. Actually, it's YouTube channel, not podcast. But that's like one of my other businesses. And then we have this one. We have Brood for More, which is our new podcast. Really, because we just thought it'd be fun to like talk and have a podcast together about our crazy adventures as entrepreneurs, as two people running.
It's about our lives.
Businesses,
We're being open and honest about like what we do for a living. Yeah, and we're like kind of giving a glimpse into all the aspects of our entrepreneurial mindset, our entrepreneurial businesses.
Yes,
that sort of thing.
Because as entrepreneurs, it's super important to learn how to embrace the hyphen, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later in this podcast episode, and just breaking that down. So like, as you grow in your entrepreneurship journey, you don't really start out, you kind of start with one thing, but then you kind of launch into other things, and you kind of have to do multiple things to make, being creative work like as a career. And so that's really what this YouTube channel / podcast is centered about. We want it to be just kind of like a resource for you guys, just kind of like learn how we've been doing it type of thing, and just really just share our story to like encourage you in your journey. So yeah, what would you say about that? What what do you do for a living?
Yeah, what do I do for a living?
Into the mix of all these things.
Yeah, so we moved to Nashville so that I could pursue film scoring and songwriting. So I've always had a love and passion for music, and so that's kind of what my background is, which brought us to Nashville. But I've also worked in the audiovisual event space in Nashville, setting up for corporate events and shows. And then in addition to that, I do some acting. Yeah, which is kind of a new venture, which has been really exciting and fun for me. I've been on some commercials and some of the productions in Nashville.
He's acting right now.
Oh, wow, I'm acting right now. That's cool. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. What else do I do? I think I covered all the bases.
Acting is really just living out a role in life.
Well, that's what I say.
Right?
I tell people
that
I'm
how
an
you
actor
define
because
it?
I do so many things in life. I just pretend I know what I'm doing and roll with that.
Every single time. Like whatever new role you're in, you are now acting in that role, and that's how we do it.
Yep, yes,
which is totally okay.
Earlier this week, I was operating this mid-size lighting console, and I was like, okay, yeah, I got this. I'd never done it before, and so the engineer kind of just showed me the ropes and told me what buttons to push, and it was a lot of fun.
What is your main thing that you do? What's like
the main thing?
What's like your big career goal?
My big career goal. I mean, there's so many, but really film scoring. I think that's been like my driving passion for a long time. I just love telling stories. I like writing music to convey emotions and stories that, because music gives the audience an inclination of what they should feel. It doesn't necessarily tell them what to feel, but it tells them to feel something, and it kind of guides them in that path. I heard, I think Matthew Nelson, or I think Dan Hazeltine, I'm pretty sure those are the composers of The Chosen. They led a panel, and they were kind of talking about this idea, which I thought was pretty cool, because you're not supposed to like manipulate the audience per se. You're supposed to tell them that they should feel something. Yeah, so that's interesting.
Feeling emotions.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah, music is pretty cool. But I mean, aside from that, like, what was that?
Emotional manipulation.
Emotional manipulation? No, maybe.
Kidding,
I don't know.
Kidding.
So aside from that, songwriting, I just have a love for sharing encouraging messages to people. I'm a Christian. We're Christians, so I think just writing songs that bring glory to God and encourage people in their lives is like super meaningful. Like, I wrote a song, "Is There Shelter?" Like, can you find shelter in the chaos? And I think you can. And
shelter in the chaos.
Shelter in the chaos, like when your baby's crying. I think I hear Tyler. We'll see if he.
We'll see if he goes back to
sleep.
sleep.
We'll see if he goes back to sleep. But aside from that, I'm writing a novel. So I'm kind of dabbling in being an author as well. I have my first 25,000 words. So it's a fantasy novel that I'm excited.
Yes, I'm so excited about his fantasy novel. So I told him this thing. I was like, okay, if you write the first 10 chapters, then I'll read it for you.
I've got 11.
You have 11? Okay, because you're trying to get 20 chapters, right, in your book?
That's the goal. We'll see what happens.
Oh, and if you want to get his book, then you can actually sign up for the waitlist, which to purchase his book when it comes out. I think we're gonna try to have an ebook.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start
ebook
promoting
form
it.
and a physical book.
I think I'm about halfway there, so I think
you're halfway there.
Start promoting.
So I'm like, okay, you're gonna get this written like hopefully either by the end of the year or within the
maybe sometime next year. We'll see.
Maybe,
we'll see what happens.
Maybe beginning of next year at some point. But if you want to be on the wait list for his new book coming out, should we give it like a little fake name?
A fake name?
I don't know what to call it.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
Maybe not quite yet.
Maybe
I have to have a big reveal.
Daniel's new novel that he's
new
writing.
novel.
It's actually going to be part of a series. Do we know how many parts it's going to be yet?
I've been playing around with that. I'm trying to plan enough material for 7 books.
7 books. I'm so excited.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So if you want to be notified when Daniel's book finally is ready to be purchased, then you can sign up to be on the wait list down below right there. That'll be super fun when that comes out. Also, I just want to take a second and talk about Libsyn Podcasting, which is the place where we actually host all of our podcasts. I actually have this podcast and then another podcast called called to help, which is so funny. And I actually have an affiliate code for you guys. It's literally called. So if you want to start your own podcast, which we actually recommend starting your own podcast if you are an entrepreneur, small business owner, or a creative, because I think that you can, if you have something that you really love to talk about, I think it's really cool to, actually talk about that and be able to share what you know with other people. I think it's a great way to build an additional income stream within your creative business. And we are a big fan that you really need to build at least 7 streams of income as a business owner or just as a creative to continue doing this like long-term over time. So if you want to go ahead and try out Libsyn Podcast, I highly recommend that. I love them because when you actually go ahead and release a podcast episode through Libsyn, it actually distributes the podcast to, I'm pretty sure it's like 10 different podcast places. So like, I think it's like Apple Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Java something. I don't know. Okay. I'm like saying the ones that I know off my head because I can see in the back end of Libsyn how it actually, distributes it different places. But it's really helpful because it's just like it puts your podcast on all these places automatically when you post an episode, which I think is great because then you don't really have to, worry about posting it in all these different places type of thing. So I definitely recommend using Libsyn as your podcast hosting source. That's not source.
Distributor?
Just it's
Maybe?
the host.
I
don't know. What am I saying? I just recommend that you go try out Libsyn and feel free to use our code.
Code.
I can't speak.
Code.
And feel free to use our code.
Colt?
Code. It's because the code is called. I'm mixing code and called into cold or something.
Code.
So it's literally like called, and that it'll be in the description too. And it's all caps, so the word called, all caps. So go try out Libsyn if you are looking to start your own podcast. All right, so now that we have talked about our podcasting host that I love using, now we are going to talk about kind of really just the gist of this video, like why we started to do this video. And so we're going to talk a little bit about embracing the hyphen as creative. So I'm actually going to let Daniel talk about this a little bit because he was the one who kind of, did you discover this or did I discover it or did we do it
I
together?
read it in a book about music business in college.
Yes.
I'm going to butcher his name. Ari, I know his name
Where's
starts
the
with an
book?
H. Yeah,
Wait,
it's over there.
Oh, it's over there. You can get it.
Yeah, let's go grab that.
We forgot the book.
Oh, okay. All right, How to Make It in the New Music Business by, I don't know if it's Ari or Ari. I'm sorry, Ari. But Ari Herstand. I really like the section about embracing the hyphen. It's this is the 2nd edition. I'm sure there are probably, I think there's a 3rd edition out now.
Yeah.
Maybe it came out a while
Really?
ago.
Oh, I didn't know that. It's so funny. Show it up like in front of your face.
Maybe he's
See
working
it.
on a 4th
like,
edition.
Put it in front of your
Who knows?
face and hold it there. Just still. This is the book. It's a really cool book. And then you can hold it right there. And we're actually going to link this book down below. And yeah, this helped him kind of understand how to specifically make it in the creative music industry. But I think that embracing the hyphen really applies to any creative industries, I believe, right?
So if you don't know, yes, it can apply to any creative industry. And that's honestly the point of it. It's kind of bridging the gap between disciplines in an industry or between different industries entirely. And I think the best way I can explain it is embracing the hyphen is saying that you do this thing that you want to do. For me, it's film scoring, but you also do fill in the blank. So I am a film composer. I'm also a songwriter. I am also an event technician in the corporate Nashville space.
And a wedding photographer.
And a wedding photographer.
And a podcaster now, apparently.
And now I'm a podcaster. So basically the idea is that you are getting your source of income from all of these different things collectively. So you're not just relying on one thing, because for a while I just was like, okay, film scoring, it's the only thing I'm gonna do. I was laser focused on it. If I wasn't getting film scoring gigs, I was depressed and I was not making it and it was discouraging. And so yeah, I don't think that's a good approach. And for me personally, my faith plays a big role in this, right? Because I want to pursue the things that God is putting in front of me to glorify Him. And so I can't limit myself to film scoring because I might be missing opportunities in the acting space or missing being able to speak into somebody's life in the audiovisual industry. So this embrace the hyphen is super important because it allows you to broaden your focus so that you can pull your income source from a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
When one is slow, the other one might be busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's a very good tool for entrepreneurs and creatives.
Yeah, definitely. Embracing the Hyphen.
Yeah.
So if you want to know more about Embracing the Hyphen as a creative in the music industry, then go ahead and check out the book down in the description. We have a link to it so you can go and check it out for yourself. And I also think that, especially in our life, I'm just gonna leave that in there. We believe, that just like following God, what we're called to do in our businesses is really important. And because as you can tell, like a lot of people ask us, like, how in the world do you make this work as, a married couple who have a baby and you're both in the creative industries, like with him mainly in the music world and me mainly in the photography entrepreneurship world. How do you make this work? Like building two businesses while also like raising a baby and not having like a traditional 9-to-5, because neither of us have a 9-to-5 right now, like a traditional 9-to-5. So like we're all strictly freelance in everything we do. And a lot of people are like, how in the world do you do that? And for us, I feel like it's really it's been a lot about like trusting God to provide the opportunities, which can sometimes feel like it's really scary, but it's also been really like helpful in that
I think the way I describe it is it's built our faith and it's made us stronger. It's drawn our hearts to God, and it's allowed us to trust Him in a way that we probably wouldn't otherwise, because we've seen Him move in our lives in like miraculous ways.
Yep. Like when we hit a deer, which there'll be a future episode coming out.
Nope.
We're not talking about that now, but there'll be a future episode, and
later.
we're gonna call it "We Hit a Deer," and you're gonna have to come back and find out that story because it's such a great story, anyways. But yeah, and I think that this whole scenario or this whole idea applies to like Colossians. What is it? Colossians, like whatever you do.
I think it's in Colossians 3. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord and not for man.
Yeah.
It's talking about. Well, it says this: whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord and not for man. Yep. So it doesn't matter what discipline you're in. Whatever God puts in front of you, you can do it with all your heart. Yep. If it's an honorable and worthwhile pursuit.
Yep. It's definitely what we do for sure in businesses, and that's why we moved to Nashville, and that's what we'll continue doing as long as we can, basically, right?
Yeah.
And it's so fun.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I
absolutely.
love what we do. Like, I mean, like, there's definitely been like hard parts.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's lots of lows sometimes, but there's also highs that are so fun, and it's just amazing, and it gives us the flexibility we want to, really just raise a family the way we want to, and it's been really, really cool just to do that. And then
okay. Before we keep going, I have a serious question for you. Very serious question. So, you made cookies. And you prepared cookies. Are we gonna eat some cookies?
I was actually gonna do this thing where I was gonna be like, do you want a cookie, Mr. Cookie? It's a maple
that
cookie.
Was very cheesy. Yes, I would love a cookie.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's a maple cookie. Although the weird thing is that it doesn't actually taste very mapley, even though there's a half a cup of maple syrup in it, like Vermont maple syrup from Mulchet Valley Farm, my aunt and uncle's farm in Vermont, which I'm from Vermont. And yeah, they honestly taste like chocolate chip cookie. I cannot think. They honestly taste like chocolate chip cookies. I don't know why they don't taste very mapley.
How much maple syrup do you put in them?
Only half a cup. I followed the recipe.
Maybe we shouldn't eat while on a podcast.
Oh. We could take
I feel like that's a. Yeah, this seems like it's a bad idea.
We had one bite of it. We'll eat it later. Okay, so obviously you've been hearing about just a lot of our creative endeavors and just how we do it as creative business owners who are married and who have a child. And we also want to have like more kids in the future too, and not yet because we're like still crazy and trying to figure things out. But we just wanted to create this podcast as a resource really to help other creative entrepreneurs who want to figure out like, how do you make this work? How do you do this? And it does take a lot of hard work, like a lot. Like you can't go into this being like, I'm just going to have a fluffy little life and it's going to be easy. Like it's going to be hard. But if you think like, you have to kind of believe in delayed gratification in the future, like 10, even 20 years from now, you're going to be like you're going to have so much more freedom in your life, like freedom of time, than people who are still stuck at their 9-to-5 because they have to keep working their 9-to-5 to keep bringing in money. Whereas we're working on building scalable income sources alongside our services, really just to, help, have the income keep coming in, even if we're not like working all the time. So we think that that's something kind of we believe in, is building 7 sources of income. But really what I'm trying to say here is that, if you really want to know how to, be able to take your passion and turn it into something that is like profitable over time, then we have a little freebie guide for you.
Ooh,
yes,
nice.
freebie guides.
That's
Do you
cool.
like freebie guides?
Yeah, we do.
We like freebies. It's so fun when there's free things. So if you want to really understand more about just like how we've done this and how we are continuing to do this, we have created this guide for you, and it is called From Dreamer to Doer, 10 Ways to Build a Creative Career That Lasts a Long Time. And we think that this is just kind of laid out for you, like basically, I'm gonna say like about like 10 of the ways that we have figured out a way to make this work. And yes, it's going to take work. This is not easy, but is being a creative ever easy? No. Like it's making money as a creative and just doing that, it's not going to be easy, but these are kind of some strategies that we've laid out, just how to take your dream of being a creative entrepreneur and how to really just like expand on it and actually, do the things you need to do to make this business dream of yours work. So Daniel, do you have anything to say about this freebie guide? That's gonna be so exciting.
I'm excited. It's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, I wanted to make this for you
excited to
guys
check it out.
just so that you could have kind of like an actionable,
Actually, I think I have checked it out.
thing.
I think you showed it to me.
That's a different guide.
Oh, you showed me the course.
Yep, that's a
Okay.
different guide. That's the Confident Entrepreneur guide. Jennifer has a lot of different guides that she works on. I also talk about myself in third person, kind of weird. This is my personality, okay? And if you've ever worked with me at a wedding, you know that this is how we are. We're kind of funny and goofy like this. But yeah, so if you want to go ahead and check out From Dreamer to Doer, this is really just going to help you take the action steps you need to take to pursue the dreams that you want to do, like that career dream that you want to do. And so go ahead and check that out. It'll be down in the description of this video podcast episode here. As creative entrepreneurs, how do we embrace the hyphen? We've kind of already explained kind of like what we do, to make this work. But let's dive down deep into it more. Let's like ask each other some questions to figure out like how do we like embrace the hyphen and what we're doing. So I don't know. I'm trying to think out where to start here. I'm going off my cuff. That I don't have a cuff, but if I had a cuff, I'd be going off my cuff.
So I think we can talk about the evolution of the embrace the hyphen mindset. So like when you're first starting, it might not be glamorous. It might be things that you honestly hate. It might be like working a job that you can't stand and also doing something you love. But something that he mentions in this book is you can gradually cycle out of the ones that you don't like. So as you find new opportunities, you can basically put in the new opportunities and cycle out the ones that kind of drain you and you don't enjoy.
Yeah. That makes sense. I like that. Which is honestly, if you get back to let's go back to Daniel's very first job out of college and talk about this.
Oh, do you want to go back there?
He's like, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So I worked a job in the student accounts department
at Liberty University. Because he thought he needed a full-time job right out of college. It was this whole thing, and won't get into all the nitty-gritty of that, but
it ended up being challenging for me because I was doing a full-time job and I didn't have as much time to write music, and when I did write music I was really tired and it was hard to put my creativity into practice because I've been using my brain to like figure out solutions for students all day. And
so rough.
if you know me, back then I used to be an introvert. I think I'm more extrovertish now. But I was an introvert then, and so by the time I got to the end of my day, I kind of just wanted to sleep and do fun things. And so I didn't have the creative mindset that I needed.
Yeah,
to do like, I wasn't really motivated.
You weren't motivated at all.
I was motivated to.
For like a solid 6 months. You just weren't like, I think,
okay,
college burnt you out
in fairness,
so much.
After I came back from our honeymoon, I did score a short film.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
But then,
right?
but then after,
Semicolon?
no, it was
it
was Purgatory Pals.
Purgatory Pals. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it was a fun short.
A little fun
short.
Yeah,
With
okay.
some, like,
Semicolon was later on.
Yeah, that was.
Was that when we had already moved to Nashville?
That was when we had moved to Nashville.
Oh, okay. Maybe that was like this. Oh, that was the
spring.
Like
the first film I got after we moved to Nashville.
First 2 months after being in Nashville that you scored. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
But you were just so burnt out after school.
I was so burnt out. Oh my goodness. I was so tired. I just wanted to
work yourself to death. I think he barely survived.
I had this fascination with Rube Goldberg machines. And
oh yes! Oh my gosh, we have videos of this.
If you don't know what a Rube Goldberg machine, it's like what's the word for it?
I can pull some footage, maybe.
We probably can.
I
but
bet I can.
basically, it's why am I blanking on this?
Like
This is crazy.
you put all these like toys and structures and things
Chain
like
reaction.
dominoes and things that fall over.
So it's basically a game that you build that is a chain reaction where one thing knocks over another thing, knocks over another thing, knocks over another thing until like this whole like system like
all falls over. And you collapse and die.
goes
Just kidding.
through. I don't. Yeah, that was very uneloquent.
Well, it's okay, like I think
Anyway,
you're using a fancy name for
I like
something. It's
games.
kind of like a domino effect where everything just falls over, but it's more
But
than
it's
dominoes.
cooler than that.
It's cooler than dominoes. And Daniel's really good at building them. Like he's pretty elaborate. Honestly, if you were a film composer, maybe you should just do that with your life. But
I thought about
we
it.
could start another business. That could be fun. Just kidding.
Yeah,
we
might be
got enough of those going on.
Anyway, I liked playing games.
Mm-hmm.
I liked chilling and relaxing. That's what I did growing up.
So
It was like in the evenings was basically fun time.
Yeah.
So I kind of gradually have changed my mindset to where like the evenings, yes, I think it's important to spend quality time with each other. That's super important for a family.
like right now.
And I think that's probably the next question I'm going to ask. But my mindset shifted to where like I'm doing something creative and I'm like I have an entrepreneurial mindset where if I have downtime, I'm thinking about a business idea. If I'm working a gig in Nashville, and if I have a break, like an hour-long break, I'll be writing my book during that time.
Yep.
And so that mindset shift is super important, I think, because like you're building something knowing that eventually it'll pay off. The hard work will pay off. And like eventually you won't have to do like
Those jobs you
the
don't
jobs
do
you don't
anymore.
like,
Yeah.
and you can focus more on your craft if you're consistently building. I think we can probably put a plug in for Atomic Habits here.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's I feel like this is an Atomic Habits mindset where James Clear wrote that book. If you aren't familiar,
Yep, we'll link
I think
it down below
Yeah, we'll
too.
link it.
Yep.
But yeah, it's this idea that like your habits really influence what you do and who you are as a person, and so building good habits is an important way to. I just went blank.
He's really talking about habit stacking. Atomic Habits
stacking. So,
talks
yeah.
about habit stacking and just how, you need to build consistent habits over time to eventually reach like success in the long run. And if you consistently do one specific thing for like 90 days straight, that's actually going to show whether or not you can actually be consistent in that thing and grow it over time.
And that's the Dave Ramsey.
Yep.
Dave Ramsey tidbit.
See all these people that we're fans of, literally.
What was that book?
One of his books that he wrote.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
90 Day thing. Oh, let's steal that too. Is that another book?
Yeah, that is.
Okay, when we find that book, we'll link that down below too. We're really into
it's on
like
the tip of my,
business
it's on the tip of my tongue.
books. Okay, we're gonna think.
It's, Entreleadership. His Entreleadership book.
Entreleadership book.
Yeah, he wrote an
cool.
Entreleadership book.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that
my
makes
mindset over the years has shifted to where
Yes.
like I'm diligent now.
Yes, and this is
which
so
I think is
this
important
proof.
because I feel like a lot of people that I talk to will use the evenings to scroll Facebook, watch TV shows, which we do.
Yeah,
We still-
but
we still do
occasionally it's
that.
more like one episode here and there. But it's not like
Every night.
we don't binge it. Like
Or
oh my
play
gosh,
video
we used to
games.
binge like 4 or 5 episodes in a row.
I hear a lot of people play video
But
games
not
too.
anymore.
But like the evenings are. I think I saw a YouTube thumbnail on this. I didn't watch it, but I was like, oh, that's true. Like, are you using your evenings? Like, even if you have a 9-to-5 job, you can use your evenings to get things done.
Yeah.
If you're trying to build a business or pursue creative endeavors.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so it's crazy. And yeah, and I've definitely seen you go from a place of like really just kind of just sad and depressed about not being successful in certain areas of your life to even if you're not as successful as you want to be, at least having like the confidence to like show up and keep doing the things. And that's leading you to more success than if you didn't do that.
I think that should be another topic because that's been a whole journey too.
Yeah.
There have been several events that have like, or I don't know, mindset shifts that have helped me with that.
Yeah.
That I guess we could talk about here.
We could, although should we go
could.
back to embracing the hyphen? 'Cause
We
there's
probably
something
should
else.
stay.
I wanted
yeah.
to talk about embracing the hyphen and that like you were talking about how you can, okay, like let's say that you are working a 9-to-5 job and you eventually want to get out of your 9-to-5 job so that you can, like pursue more your creative pursuits. So kind of what we'd suggest is, as you're still working that 9-to-5 job, if you have to do that, pay the bills, because that's obviously very important. We're not encouraging you to go into debt to become a creative. Like, that's not at all. We're not telling you to do that at all. We are telling you to be wise with God, with what God has given you. That is very important. And so what you can do, though, is add like an income stream on the side, like whatever it is that you want to pursue, so like, if you have to work 40 hours a week at your job, and then, in the evenings and the weekends working on your, side hustle, building that up. And we like to say maybe like year one, focus on maybe that one service that you want to start doing. And then what do I like to say for year two? I feel like year two is like, it's continuing to build that service, but adding in a second income stream or something like that. So you basically eventually want to get to 7 streams of income. And I think we'll have a future episode we're talking about like how to build 7 streams of income within 7 years. And because we're still like, I'd say maybe we're in like the 3rd year, maybe 4th. I don't know. Like,
on year 4.
I'm getting into like year 4 of like working on that type of thing. And so we kind of like want to make an episode where we more fully break that down. Just that way you kind of have like a step-by-step idea of how to do that, like as a creative. And so, so bracing the hyphen, you gotta keep working on all the different things that ultimately will help you succeed as a creative. Like, where am I going with this?
Well, you want to be focusing on like all of your talents. You don't want to limit a talent that you have.
Yeah.
So I think the thing that we're talking about here is like having a broad focus rather than a narrow focus, which sounds kind of counterintuitive because I'm sure you've heard the phrase like jack of all trades but master of none.
It's like, which do you go for? Because it is good to specialize. You really should specialize, technically. But in today's world, we're finding it's more and more common for a lot of creative entrepreneurs to actually do several different things. They just don't talk about it all the time. It's almost kind of like hidden. They're like, oh, I actually do this too, but this is the main thing I do. It's like,
so
I don't know.
My point is like, find the things that you really love and are really passionate about and pursue those. And it could be not one thing, but it could be 2 or 3 things. Yeah,
which is, I think upwards of 3 things to do is actually totally fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so I'm not saying like, dip your toes in every single industry to try to figure out, do I like this? Do I like that? I mean, maybe
5 or 6 things
do that.
Might be too much.
Maybe you do that at first.
Yeah.
But really, like, think about the things that you're passionate about, the things that you're gifted at, and like explore a little bit. Like for me in the creative industry, like I'm pursuing being an author, doing music, and acting, and those are all 3 things that I'm super passionate about. And I think it's a great thing to do because I'm not limited to just one creative aspect. I have multiple avenues of expressing creativity. So what
made you want to write a book?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Totally off topic.
That is off topic.
Right.
Relevance.
But we're actually getting close to wrapping up this episode. So let's just give them like one more little fun story, I think, before we kind of like wrap up soon.
So what I would say is the whole point of this question is don't despise what you've done as a kid. Because I came up with this book idea when I was 14, and I could have just let it fade into the distance, but I picked it back up in college, and I've been like basically brainstorming for the past 4 years, and then 2 years ago I started actually writing it. And so I think you can utilize things that you did even a long time ago because that can impact people, and you can use who you were as a kid to basically speak into people's lives now, which I think is a really cool opportunity.
Yeah, it's like, who says that you can't use an idea and expand upon it? It's something that you literally had over a decade ago.
Yeah, because
it's totally fine to do. And honestly, I feel like most people who want to write a book, they're kind of like, they give up on the idea because they think it's too hard. And I mean, but you've been consistently working on it for like, a few years now, really technically. But this year's when you really like powered through and like you're really motivated to actually like get it done.
The big thing that helped with that is I brainstormed for like a year or 2. I didn't just write. I basically had a framework. I built a world.
It's a whole world.
It's a whole.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a fantasy world. Ooh, so cool.
So
yeah, I mean, so I had different ideas that I would. I guess I'll put in a plug for Obsidian. Obsidian is an epic note taker, so we might link that as well.
Yeah,
it's a good way to
get you a code if we can.
To organize your thoughts.
We don't have one yet, but if we have one, we'll add it down below.
Oh my goodness, there's like so many things we're recommending.
Hey,
But yeah.
but that's the thing. As a creative entrepreneur, like there are a lot of different like softwares and different things we use, and so we're going to tell you about
Yeah.
them. We're going to tell you how we
Yeah,
do this because
absolutely.
this isn't.
So helpful.
It's not like we have to use technology to run businesses. So we're going to tell you what we use to run it, so that way, like if this is something that could help you, you could use it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, use what you've use your creative ideas from when you were young. I think that's cool because it's already something. It's basically a framework that's already been laid. Like if you're creative and you've done things as a kid, just pull those things back out and see if they're good. And honestly, the story that I'm writing is like completely different from what I envisioned as a 14-year-old, but it has the general concept and idea. It's just evolved over time.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool.
Yep. When we get closer to him finishing the book, maybe we'll give you a little bit about what it's about. That way you can actually find out what it's about. Because right now we're not telling you what it's about. And then I also just want to say, so like all these different softwares and different things we use within our businesses we've talked about today, we're just talking about them because we really just like using them. None of these are sponsored by any of the companies. So we just want to make that clear that this is just us talking about the things that we love using within our businesses.
Yeah. So I think there's one last question I wanted to ask you. And if you have this entrepreneurial mindset and you're like really diligent, really focused on your job, how do you balance spending time with your family? Especially like, because here's the reality. We're both pursuing building businesses and we also have a kid. And so like we want to pour into our son and we also want to build our businesses, but like, how do we manage that?
That's a great question. That's one that
I think it's an honest answer to say we're still figuring it out.
Yes, we're definitely still figuring it out.
We're not always the best at it.
Yeah, like
but
totally,
we're trying to grow. We're trying to find a balance where we can be present for our son because we think that's super important.
Yeah, like I'll be honest that we are still very much in the hustle years of just having to work a lot. Like honestly, it feels like I'm constantly working like 60, 80 hours a week. Now part of that is taking care of Tyler, and I guess I still count that as like, I don't know, that's not like business work, but it's still like, it still takes work, care for the house, dishes. Oh my gosh, such a like, I don't think there's like, maybe once a week the sink is totally empty because there's just so many things to do.
Happens.
It's a beautiful, oh yeah. Anyways, so like, I don't think that you're not going to be perfect at this. So when you are building a business and you are a young family, I think that sometimes there has to be years of sacrifice so that when your kids like are a little older, you can like maybe be more intentional about your schedule. And so like right now we're just very, very busy all the time. And I think I really just try to, take a break from work here and there to, hang out with Tyler, just spend time with him, just play with him here and there. Like if he's like, oh, I want to play, like I can take 5 minutes and just play with him, and that actually helps him to feel like just like more connected to me and everything. Because I'm with him 24/7, like except when like if he goes with Daniel to do something or we go photograph a wedding. But like he's most of the time with me, so I do spend a lot of my time with him. But I'm also like kind of a multitasker where I am doing little work like with him there. But for me, it's like, how do I balance my days? So like again, I feel like maybe during the day I try to get about 4 hours of work done while Tyler's actually awake. Just on and off working on things within my business I need to do. And normally he's just playing on the floor and normally it's fine. And then again at night I try to do some more just like focused intentional work time. And then I'm trying to get better about making food for us. But I think in a life where you are both creative entrepreneurs and both trying to run businesses, because normally it's just like one or the other spouse actually runs a business and the other one has a normal job. That's what I'm saying. And we are the opposite of that. And so I think that it takes both of us to like help with food prep, dishes, laundry. Like it can't all be on me to do everything in the house because then I'm literally gonna sleep 4 hours a night.
Nod, wink, nudge.
It's like Daniel, help me.
Help me, I need help.
I do. I mean, literally, like if he doesn't do something, like I cannot physically keep up with everything.
Yeah. So there has to be some give and take.
Yeah. So like,
which I would say is true for any marriage, really.
Yeah.
Regardless of what job you have or what you do.
Yeah, so Daniel needs to pick up his stuff and do his things and help with things. And it really just helps if he just, just steps in, does dishes, does laundry, like even like cleans the bathroom. I don't know, like random things, like you clean the shower. That's his job. He takes the trash out and cleans the shower. That's great. And then like, just, I'm trying to like figure out how to be more intentional with time. we're still trying to figure it out. Like, we're still
I mean-
getting better at work-life balance, and when we figure it out, we'll definitely make an episode of how we're perfect on it, when we figure it out.
Yeah. Once we're perfect, we'll tell you how we did it.
Yeah. And there's just so many things we're juggling right now that we are not in a perfect season where we're perfect at everything. But I believe that
the truth is we never will
we
be. But
can
I think what you
get closer.
said, yeah, absolutely. I think we should be intentional. I think that's the word that sums it all
Yeah,
up.
intentional.
Is intentionality. Like, if I'm going to take time to spend with you, I'm going to be intentional about it and really focus on you. I shouldn't be scrolling on Facebook when I'm spending time with you. Like,
That'd be funny.
I should be looking into your eyes and talking to you and listening to you when you ask me questions, because I think that's a pet peeve of yours.
Oh yeah, when I'm trying to tell him something like in depthly, and he's just like, he just gets distracted suddenly. I'm like, you are so ADHD.
Maybe so.
He kind of is. I think we both struggle with it a little bit. It's probably because of all the scrolling and everything. Anyways.
Yeah,
but
there are points when I don't even hear your questions.
yeah,
like,
and then
oh
I'm
man,
like,
I don't even
Daniel,
remember you
I'm
saying
gonna,
that.
Yeah, and I have to get his attention to this whole thing. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's
but
crazy.
I
Anyway.
think that's guys.
So-
a lot of guys do that. It's kind
Maybe
of funny.
so. But yeah, if I'm spending time with you, it should be intentional. If I'm spending time with Tyler, it should be intentional. If I'm working on my
Yes.
business, it should be intentional.
Yes, and then another little actual like tip, so like an actual tip that could help you is that simplify your meals and like how you eat, so that like you literally could have one day where you cook everything for the entire week, like one evening. We've
It's
done
so
this
helpful.
before, where like maybe we spend max of 3 hours. We just work together
Yep.
and for 3 hours we make like 2 or 3 meals for the entire week, and then we have like really easy breakfast stuff and like sandwiches for lunch. We just make the food so stinking easy. That sounds really weird. Whatever. We make the food really, really easy, so I don't have to think about any of the food for the rest of the week. It's just in the fridge, ready to go. And with our schedules, like, I don't have time to cook a new meal every day. That is just not, like, because if I do that, like with dishes and cooking and everything in Tyler, like I'm not going to get to working. I'm probably only going to work 3 or 4 hours in my business that day, and that's not enough for me to keep up with what I need to do. So simplifying your meals, and again, remember, it's for a season. Like in 10 years from now, the goal is that you've built enough income streams within your creative business that you can take a little bit of a slower pace while still making enough money to literally feed your family, take care of your family. So that's kind of our goal. Is just right now we're in a busy season where we just have to go a lot, but we also gotta like it. It's kind of fun. We just like doing things. We're definitely not the typical family who just comes home from work and chills and does nothing. Like, I don't know, that sounds mean. It's fine if you do that, but that's just not us. We just like doing things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's gold advice right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Meals.
I totally forgot what you said.
It was something about meals and like
Oh
only
yes,
cook once a week.
Yeah, that's gold. One of my friends told me about that in college, and like
Yeah.
it helped me with my college schedule too when I was at Liberty, where like I made my meal and I forgot about it. I just had to go to the fridge and pull it out and eat it.
Yeah,
I didn't have to,
that will help.
I didn't have to
so
cook
much.
for 30 minutes or an hour
Yep.
each night. So, yeah, that's great advice.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely probably the most actionable advice about how to just balance on being, 2 creative entrepreneurs in the same family with a kid. Just make it easy. Prep your food. And
Yep. And there's so many ways you can do that.
Don't think about that part of your life. Don't overthink it. Just do it.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
I think the principle would be to like maximize time efficiency.
Yeah.
And you can apply that idea to so many
time
avenues of
management.
life. Like it's not just food. You could apply it to so many things.
Yep. So that's really ultimately how we are choosing to embrace the hyphen in our, creative businesses and just how we're trying to balance our life. We hope that you found this episode helpful today. And if you are interested in learning about just like why we started this podcast, Brewed for More, that's actually going to be our next episode coming out, hopefully about a week or so after you see this first podcast episode. And then again, don't forget to go grab our freebie that we have made just for you, Dreamer to Doer. That is going to really help you just understand how to get started along this entrepreneurship creative journey. And again, this podcast is really just for families and entrepreneurs, people who are young, creative, and they just want to figure out like how we've done it. Like our goal is really just to share our journey and story with you through this podcast. So, which we will talk about that even more in our next episode. So thank you again for being with us today and laughing about our spilling our apple cider and our maple cookies that don't really taste like maple. So that's funny. But yeah, so go ahead and check us out next week when we talk about why we started Brewed for More.
Bye, guys.
Bye. That's how we should end it.